I'm Richard Lewis reporting for cadred.org. I'm here with a very familiar face to all of our readers and indeed viewers as we moved out into video content. It is of course NBK from Very Games, and we're interviewing him before the final because it does get boring asking him all the same questions after they've won. So first things first, you've literally just finished the game against MTW and you've emerged triumphant in that one. Were you surprised at how well they played against you, considering they're kind of a mix, or were you expecting the addition of Rattlesnake to give them an extra edge?
Yeah, well, actually, we know the game style of both MTW and Mouse Sport, so we know that we're a real mixed team which know each other really good. So we weren't expected surprised at all by the game style because we already knew it. So we just tried to adapt as good as we can, and basically that worked for everything we did. We won the first map 16-13. We just failed few rounds in Tuscan, like still winning a 1-3 that he shouldn't won. Things like that. We lack of pressure a bit, so we chilled out a bit too much. We managed to win the map though, concentrated again for the second map, and everything went well. No real problem, we just played our game and everything went good.
A lot of people have been saying that this current Very Games team it's lost a little bit of its focus, that it's not as dedicated as it used to be. It doesn't practice as much. It's not as strong in terms of talent. People are saying that RPK is, for example, getting old. People have even said you're not playing well, yet you still keep winning. A two-part question, I guess. Do you agree with those comments? Do you think this Very Games team is weak by previous standards? And the second part is any of that true? I mean, are you guys actually not playing as much?
Actually, the thing is that I think Construct Source is going to an end. Like, we see all the events coming out on CSGO, the SWDC, the DreamHack. That's a point that shouldn't be missed because I think all the top teams will one day or another just switch on CSGO. So Construct Source is pretty much dead at this point. There is the i46, and in France we're just gonna have one LAN, and after that we don't know like anything about international competitions or any LANs. So I think we're trying to be the best for both these events. And afterwards, we're going to see about CSGO as a team. So we're not practicing like 10 hours a day for Construct Source, as we probably going to move, even if we don't know. Regarding the teams, I think that people shouldn't just look at the names. Like when you see, for example, when you had a lineup with Smith, Shocks, RPK, Existence and me, people are like, every single time, fanboy Shoxy. And actually, if you look at the results, if you look closely at the match, Shoxy wasn't as good as he was with Rocat. Yeah. And when you see Kenyes, who arrived in the team like 6 months ago, he managed to have 30 kills against MTW on season for this match, for example. So I think people shouldn't focus on the names. I think CSGO is going to be a new beginning for the whole team. And when people are going to move on it, I think everyone will have motivation to play against 1.6 players like NIP, ESC, players like that. And I don't think that we are weaker than before. We just had 5 days practice for this LAN, for example. So I think everything's going to be okay in the future. Like, no problem about it.
What can you tell me about Apex leaving the team? Was it? I mean, I know in the past we've seen some kind of heated decisions made when you know, for example, when Shocks left the team. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things about that, and it might not have been so amicable. With the Apex decision, was that a difficult choice, or I mean, was it a personality thing? What's the inside scoop? What can you tell us?
Actually, the problem with Apex it was mixed between the game and between the real life. He has a character which is really straight. I mean, he cannot really change his mind. Like in game, he wasn't really able to adapt to our game style, like Existence game style. He was playing a bit too alone, not really with the team. That wasn't really nice every single time. The game style wasn't really fitting. Yeah, I think he's too straight, and he must be more open to what people say to him. He's not a bad guy, but yeah, I think he's too focused on some things, and he should change some things a bit. And he was an excellent player. Like everyone saw it. He was top scoring on some matches, and he's a good player, but he needs some change in his mind, I think.
Well, we've got Schmitt's coming back to the team. Now, a lot of people have obviously said that's a great move for you guys. First question relating to that move, I mean, is it good to have an old familiar face back?
Well, actually, Smith is a funny guy. Like in any situation, we just have a 5 days bootcamp, and we were just laughing all the time because it was really not. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's funny. He is good in game, and he keeps motivation going. So yeah, Smith is definitely a nice guy, and it's nice to have him.
A lot of people said because of his relationships with Shocks and the fact they're good friends, that Smiths might be trying to bring Shocks into the team further down the road for when CSGO comes out or whatever. Is there any truth in that? I mean, has it been discussed internally within the team?
Well, actually, there's not even one single point where we talked about Shocks, because Shocks is totally out of the line. He will never come back in Team Break, and that's quite sure. Or certainly enough with Existence or PKME. I mean, that will never happen. So people are just fanboying Shocks, because your next question probably would be like, why? I think Shocks is really. I mean, he used to be very, very good. Like with Rook at Nameless, he was really at his best level. But I think he's too. In the game, he just looks for one actions, like making him look better than the other team, and just like he wants to top score, to make clutches, and in a team like Very Games or any top team, that will never work. So I think Shocks is too like that. He's just too alone in his game style, but he could be really good.
Can you say why the relationship between you and Richard and Shocks has soured so much? Because you guys seemed pretty close back in the day, and when he was part of the team, and when he come back that second time, and everyone thought that was it was going to be a new era, and then he went, and now you're saying you could never play with him ever again. So can you tell us what happened? Because people like to make up their own stories. Can you tell us the truth?
Actually, there is no like. Anger, like really no real anger against him. He's just a personality and a character that doesn't fit with Very Games. He want to do his things. He does not want to follow the other guys of the team. He was missing of respect for Existence or Nyak. I mean, things like that are not possible when Nyak and Existence are just so dedicated to the game and everything related to it. So now there's just nothing that cannot fit in Very Games anymore.
Do you feel? I remember when you first come on the scene, and you were like this amazing talent. You were the AWPer, making all these kills and everything. You've evolved as a player. You've become more rifle focused. A great all-rounder. You won, of course, Player of the Year last year, and now people are saying that you are actually fanboyed and you are hyped. Does that bother you? I mean, do you look at that and think that's actually not true? I'm a really good player, or do you think that's just kind of the cycle that's always going to happen with CSS fans?
Well, actually, I have to agree with people saying that I was bad this year. I mean, I totally agree with it. I played badly for the beginning of the year till mid of the year, and since this summer, I just came back into the game. Like really, I just lacked of motivation, I guess. With the whole new team, probably CSGO coming, I think the motivation is really coming back, and I really want to play more and to be as good as I used to be. Because I think like last year, I think I played really great for the whole year, the major events. I think things are just gonna come back because we have a new team, we have a new challenge probably with CS:GO, and I'm just gonna be better. I just can't say that. I'm just gonna have my level back.
Well, CS:GO, that's what everyone's talking about. What do you think of the game? Because people are kind of split on it still. There's even CSS pros, they don't want to play it, they think it's bad, they're not going to come back to it, they're going to quit. 1.6 people are up in the air about it. What do you think? Because you're quite new to the world of Counter-Strike, so I mean, is it a big change for you, or do you prefer the game?
Actually, between CSS and CSGO, I cannot talk about 1.6, I don't really know it. Yeah. But between CSS and CSGO, I think CSGO is a way better game. Like, when you look at the hitboxes, at the moves, there are many things that can be really say that they are better. When you look at the hitboxes, for example, when you're aiming on the head and you really have your cross on his head or in any part of the body, the bullet will go straight in it. When you're construct source, sometimes you're aiming and you're just like, why didn't he die? Like, you don't really know sometimes it's just a game.
Yeah.
And I think that CSGO, with the fact that they can mix 1.6 teams, Call of Duty teams, and Construct Source teams, with all these great events which are upcoming, I think CSGO is going to be the new FPS. Like, even though people are not really agreeing with it at the moment, I think they won't have the choice because 1.6 is going to be dropped, Construct Source as well. So I think CSGO is really going to be the new FPS, and we're making feedbacks like top pro players, really complete feedbacks to Valve directly, and I think they're listening to us, and everything is going to be really great in the future, I guess.
So are you still in the process of giving feedback to Valve? Because people like Lurpis, you know, I mean, we all know what he's about. He's saying that isn't happening. He's saying, you know, that Valve have stopped listening and they're just going to make their own game. But you are still providing feedback.
Yeah, I think Video Games, we just sent them a 10-page feedback like 1 or 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I think lots of people are already doing it. But I mean, the majority of people cannot see it because we send it to Valve directly. And like many people cannot see it. And we noticed in what they changed that they listened to us. Mm-hmm. Some, like many things we said to them, they just made the change like a few weeks after. And I think the game, League of Legends, is evolving like every single month.
Fortnite it is, yeah.
Yeah, and I think CS:GO should evolve as fast as possible to make the competition go on it, like in a few months. Yeah. And afterwards, I think when the game is going to be balanced, the money system balanced, I think everything is going to be great, and we can have a way better game than Construct 1.6 Construct Source.
Do you expect to dominate in CSGO in the same way you do in CSS? Because I think a lot of people would be, obviously your fans would love it, but there's a lot of people who'd be like, please, like Very Games, just don't win an event. You know, it's because you've been winning all of them for so long. So do you expect to be this dominant force when the new game comes out?
Actually, I don't think so. I think I expect to be still at the top. Like, yeah. I cannot say that I'm going to win every single event. I mean, that would be true, and that won't happen. Because when you have teams like NIP, I just talked to GetRight, and he told me, like, when he was with SK for 1.6, they played like 6 hours a day for 5 days. And even Very Games, we don't do that. Yeah. So I think it's going to be really more balanced, like, regarding the top teams. We're going to all practice a lot, all make boot camps, really focus on every single event we're going to attend. And yeah, basically I think that there won't be any team which will dominate the whole game. Maybe at the beginning, because Construct Source teams are a bit, they have a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, slight advantage.
Yeah, really a little bit. And I think for the beginning maybe, but I think in the future it's going to be all balanced, and we're going to be 3-4 top teams like in 1.6 which can all win an event.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up with just some questions about this tournament. Obviously, you're in the final. Do you expect to be playing MTW again in the final and have a rematch?
Actually, I expect that because we played FM Toxic, and even though they were good, they have the same game style than MTW. So I think MTW has players which can make more the difference than FM Toxic, and as they have the same game style, it's going to be pretty much the same, I think. So I expect MTW to win, but FM Toxic could win as well.
Do you think MTW can do anything to stop you winning yet another I-Series? I mean, let's imagine you didn't want to win the final. What do you think MTW could do to shut you guys down? What mistakes have they made that you would tell them to change?
Actually, I hope I won't hear this interview before the game.
I promise I won't upload it.
All right, great. Actually, I think their game style is really well adapted to our game style, but we managed to change things. So I think there's no really point to say we should do that or that, because we're going to adapt every single time we're going to do something new. So yeah, I couldn't have any advice, but we already have many things on the game. We can change our game style every single time, going fast, slow, control the map, or rush in one point. I think the ability of adapting to the game, I think, is the best thing to play against us. I have no.
So just be better than you.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well that's great. It's great to catch up with you again. To all the people out there at cadred.org, we're going to have more interviews like this one from this site. And of course, I'm back now. Victor did a great job though. Don't flame him too bad. So we're going to have more coverage from i46 here at Telford Exhibition Centre.